Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 78, Lamar. It's time to have Cassex.
We need a little bit behind that. Well, Joe, I will admit I was wrong. Cassex is not a softcore porno.
What did you say there, Lamar? I couldn't hear you.
It is not a softcore porno, as I thought it would be. I was very adamant. But then after seeing it, it has a lot of sex in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has adult film stars in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the plot is around porn, but it is not a porno. It is a sci-fi erotic thriller.
As I said it would be, you mean?
You were right.
We had a little bit of a debate.
We did.
When we saw the trailer for this last week, and we were debating, is this a porn or is it a regular movie with porn elements?
Yes.
It's got an interesting premise, actually.
It's kind of like, you ever watch Sliders?
No.
Remember Sliders? Sliders, the name. Sliders is a show which featured Chris O'Donnell's brother, Jerry O'Donnell.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, one day, he made this interdimensional, portal. And he goes through, and the show is about him going through, different dimensions. That's what this reminded me of.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that, but it has more of this 80s thing that they're going through.
Yeah, they're doing the retro thing, which is kind of fun. You know, the basic plot, without spoiling too much, this is basically, you can see this in the trailer. You have a young couple, they just move into a house. I guess they inherited the house, actually.
Yes.
And she's digging up, by the way, the most shallow, she wasn't digging very far. She finds a VHS cassette in there, and it has an Cassex, an old VHS porn, but it actually transforms. It brings them into another dimension where it's almost like he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead to her, but he's in another dimension, right?
His spirit, his essence is in another parallel universe where you can see them, we can see them.
Right.
But it's like she can't see them unless, I guess, she maybe crosses the line in a later episode.
So, by the way, this is a 2-part movie, so this is Chapter One. We did not say that, but yeah. So it does end on a cliffhanger. It's pretty good, the way they ended it, it's a good spot, and you go, oh, okay, this is what Cassex does, and it does make you kind of want to see the rest of it, I feel.
Yep, because it's leading to more sex, but it is more into the dimension, because the effects show that it's crossing over and stuff like that and all that craziness, so... Yeah.
This movie actually has a lot of different things. It's putting together a lot of genres together. Because it has that little bit of the 80s retro throwback that they're doing.
Yes.
And then it's got the sci-fi element to it. It's got a little bit of a thriller. It's like a sci-fi thriller. But then there's almost a little, I guess a love triangle thing going on there.
It's a romantic eroticism, if you can call it that. It's one of those things. There's a word. It's eroticism, whatever.
Yeah. The one spot where I say it's falling a little flat is with the comedy.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't no disrespect. You have more. They're adult film stars, so they're not going to be bouncing funny jokes off of each other.
Right.
And stuff.
But my hopes were that they would be in more funny situations.
More scenarios, you say?
Yeah, more scenarios that would end up in a little funny, punchline to it or something. But that might be happening in the next chapter. We don't know because now they're going into this other world. What do you think about the acting so far? Because we've talked about the talent in the film.
Look, they are great adult film actors. We get what's going on. They're not emoting too much and stuff like that. It is what it is. I mean, it's kind of what it is? It's kind of like one of those action movies with maybe a wrestler or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're I'm not really here for the drama. I'm here to see people get beat up.
Well, there's one lady in the movie that's got a Russian accent that I don't follow her work per se. I don't think she has a real Russian accent in real life. But it's not bad. She's doing a good job with it, I thought. You didn't like that?
She was Russian. There you go. I understood she was Russian. I didn't. It's not one of those accents where you're like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah. You get what she's doing, right? So that's okay.
Yes. That's what it is. It's sex. It's like I said, it's not a porno, and it has somewhat of an interesting, like, little interdimensional thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And the effects, like, you're gonna see it, but there's like effects how they come in and stuff like that, kind of staticky, kind of like that buffering thing with VHS tapes.
Yeah. That's well done for what it is, I thought.
It is. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with all full moon movies that we've got to see so far. Like the plots and the premises, they're pretty well done. Like everything is well done. It's not like they're just throwing it together.
Nope. Not at all.
All right. So what do we rate Chapter 1 so far?
Chapter 1, I will give it 3.5.
3.5.
I will reiterate, I was wrong. It is not just a softcore porno, but it is interesting what happens next.
Yeah.
So you don't know. They might ramp it up in episode 2. So,
right.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm right with you. It's a 3.5 so far. It's very interesting. I need to see the rest of the film to, like you said, we got to see what's coming next.
Yes.
But,
we got a bunch of puns and innuendos. You know, hey, we have to do it. It's Cassex. The movie is called Cassex. Yeah.
But so far, I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's good fun. It's a good little thing. Yeah, and we should just mention that it's going to be available on the Full Moon Features streaming app on June 18th.
Yep.
Cassex, not a porn, Lamar.
It's not a porn. I will iterate again. I was wrong. It looked like it to me with everything, and it is not.
You know what the problem is?
What?
Your raging hormones got in the way of your best judgment, where I was able to put aside my earthly desires and just look at the film for what it is. And
I'll admit it's not the first time that's happened to me. So I'm a mortal man. That's all I'm going to say. I make mistakes, and I can admit that.
Good for you. Well, that wraps us up. Peace.
Deuces.